I'm Jason Klom, and this is the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Comedy on Vinyl podcast, the year 2011. The album, Alpocalypse. The artist, Weird Albert Yankovic, or Alfred. It's Alfred. I like to call him Albert. Anyway, my guest this week is the delightful, long-awaited Curt Sandvig. Thank you so much for doing the show, Curt.
Thank you. You have no idea how long I've wanted to do this show. Like I was telling you off air or whatever, one of my favorite podcasts. You're the reason that I really started to do my own solo podcast because of how well you do it and how just easy you made it seem. In fact, I don't know if you ever listened to Paranormal Almanac. It's fine if you haven't.
I have, yeah.
I stole that, welcome to Paranormal Almanac with your host, Curt Sandvig. I stole that trying to mimic you. That's you, basically.
Well, that's very kind. I'm, of course, the most humble person you'll ever meet, so thank you for that, Curt. That's a delight. I don't know how to handle compliments, but thank you. That's all I'll just keep doing is saying thank you.
That's all you need.
I'll apologize to those watching the video if I didn't leave this in already. I have crazy quarantine mutton chops, which you're just going to have to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a grown man. I have a CPAP. That's what happens. And if you're listening to this and not watching it, it's probably because it's on the Patreon. So I don't know. Here's a plug for the Patreon. StolenDress.com, patreon.com/StolenDress, et cetera. Curt. So this is going to be an accidental crossover between Comedy on Vinyl and the Professional Blur, which I'm very excited about. And it's going to be a crossover with Dispatches from Fort Ellis and an awesome news radio podcast. So, Curt, we met as extras on a song from this album, but they'd only released that song by the time, maybe the single. They released
the single digitally just before we did the video because I had desperately tried to listen to it over and over again to memorize it before I showed up on set.
Same. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna have to sing along. I don't know.
That's what I was like. I'm like, if he says sing along, I'll be like, done. I know this.
Right. Yeah. You want to be the guy who's like, has anybody heard it? Like, you want to be the nerd who's like, yes, Al. Yep. Yes, best friend, Weird Al Yankovic. I had this. I don't remember. You may remember more than I do. When we actually shot it, like the exact month of the year. I don't.
I don't.
I'll have to look it up.
I probably could find. I was say I could probably find it in that email, but yeah, no, I don't recall exactly when it was, but I can recall showing up and just being like, "This is the best day ever."
Yeah. And I mean, so it's for the song. For those who have not heard it, it would be weird if you hadn't and you're listening to this. Whatever. Perform This Way, which is of course a parody of Born This Way, which is just this beautiful Lady Gaga, like just how it looks is so good. And they were asking for paparazzi with their, preferably with their own. I think you had to have your own camera.
Had to have it.
They weren't providing anything.
Yep.
So that's how we met. That's why we're talking about this album partially. But let's dig back. What's your first memory of Weird Al? Because you've been to a lot of shows. A lot of shows.
Yes, too many, some might say. Not me, though. My earliest memory of Weird Al was, it was MTV. My folks had just gotten cable, and everybody at school was talking about, Michael Jackson and everything else that MTV had to offer. But I was an avid Dr. Demento listener, so I knew of Weird Al. But it wasn't until I saw the videos that something really sparked. And even though I was a fan of Weird Al from Dr. Demento, seeing him, I was like, yep, that's it. This is my guy. You guys talk about Michael Jackson all you want. I'm going to talk about Weird Al all day long.
Oh, I love it. I know so many people have the experience of like, I saw Duran Duran in the first concert, and so now I just saw them on TV. It's the first time I've seen the video. I was a fan. And you could do that for Weird Al. That's much cooler.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I saw Weird Al for the first time with the Monkees, so that's what, like 86?
Yes, so good. I know a lot of people with that story. I love that.
Oh, yeah, it's the best. And I was, seeing him live up close in Michigan, and almost wanted to say that I preferred Weird Al to the Monkees, even though I was the hugest Monkees fan, still am.
Sure.
But just seeing him live and seeing the performance and him just, going nuts, especially in 86 when it was just bat crazy with the videos and the costume changes. And I was like, wow, forget the monkeys. Just show me more of this. And that's why I've seen him too many times, is because I was hooked.
I mean, he is a consummate showman. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
My God, that far back, that's so good. I love when I find out that somebody was there from the fucking beginning. We'll skip forward to just only a few months ago. We were in the shoot for the New York Times Magazine.
Yep.
By the way, folks, while I might have made it in the digital edition, you can see Curt in the print edition. Curt's face is in there.
That is true. I was so ecstatic, but I was also kind of bummed out that why did they crop it in the print?
That was weird, but also, and the photographer was like, yeah, this was supposed to make the cover, but because of things, it obviously didn't. But we met there, and then, we met up there, and then one nerd decided to, and I mean that with all love, decided, hey, let's do some trivia, or let's ask, hey, who came the furthest? Some people came from, I don't remember how far away, very far away.
Very far, yeah.
And then who saw the most shows? And then people kept raising their hands, and if I'm not mistaken, you won.
I did, and I didn't want to, I stopped wanting to raise my hand because that guy was kind of scaring me, to be honest with you. There was one guy who was like, it was me, I've seen him the most, and I was like, okay, you can have this, man. Yeah. But the girl that was sitting next to me, my new friend Katie, that I met on that shoot, she kept seeing me like meekly raising my hand, and she's like, no, raise it up all the way. And she kept like pulling my elbow up all the way, and then I won, and I was like, oh, this is the guy that's going to kill me.
And nobody's going to know because we're all dressed like Weird Al.
Exactly. What happened? That Weird Al killed that Weird Al. That's all we know.
Oh, God, that's really funny. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that because I don't think you and I had ever really honestly, what's funny is like you and I think have seen each other at more They Might Be Giants things than we have Weird Al stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe.
Oh, most definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, which is another totally, we could definitely talk. We've talked They Might Be Giants once on this podcast. We could definitely do it again. We may have to.
Yeah, I'm always up to talk. I mean, they're the band that I have seen the most of anybody ever, well over 120 something times. Damn. I've actually lost count. Sure. Weird Al, I have not hit 100 yet. That's all I'm going for, is I want to hit a straight 100 to see Weird Al.
What's the number?
It's 87 or 89.
Okay, all right.
But that also includes like seeing him at the Largo in these whatever like little bit piece like benefit things that Bobcat has done, which was fantastic, and I'll be talking about that because it connects to Alpocalypse. But and seeing him on Kevin McDonald's podcast, I'm including all of those as seeing Al live because
why not?
It was live. Yeah,
why not? That's fine. You're not trying to cheat anybody out of any money.
That's exactly it.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what's happening. You're just like, this is my thing. It's okay. It's a good thing. I love that. Okay, so we've talked about where you heard of him first. Were you an album kid? Did you just go out and buy the albums?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
And I still have most of the vinyl, not all of it, unfortunately. And then I switched over stupidly to tape and then CD. But I really wish I had all of the vinyl still, because there is nothing better than flipping through my vinyl and seeing a big chunk of Weird Al or a big chunk of whatever. I don't know if you know, but my goal is, this kind of connects to your podcast. My goal was to buy every copy of a Steve Martin album that I could find, and I was going to wallpaper my bathroom with Steve Martin albums. And I have a stack. I mean, it's got to be a good 15, 20 of them. And I still, anytime I see one, without a doubt, I purchase it and take it home and just slide it right in that little space. I
would be in so much less trouble if I had said to my wife, hey, I have a plan for these First Family albums that I now have about 20 or 30 of. I just buy them impulsively.
I just have to. Yeah, compulsively.
Yeah, compulsively. Thank you. But you're going to paper your bathroom. Now, that then makes me think, is my podcast like... My podcast now feels like it's a bathroom, because we've definitely covered that album enough times to almost do a wall in somebody's bathroom.
Really have. And that's why when we were speaking about like, hey, what do you want? The first one I was like, well, I want to do this, but I know it's been done. I know that's why I was so happy when you said that Alpocalypse hadn't been done. And that surprised the crap out of me.
Well, I mean, people don't pick newer stuff. Al doesn't come up as often as you'd think. If I find out somebody's a Weird Al fan, I can be like, hey, you come on the show, we'll talk about it. But I know that there's a couple that haven't, and I definitely have fudged it. Although I think when we did, oh my God, yep, sure, the album with the Nirvana parody. My God, I'm totally off the deep end.
Oh, sure.
off the when we did that was released on vinyl, but in like Finland or something. So I'm like, fuck it. We'll just
It
that's
counts.
fine.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep talking about fandom weird side
I know.
things. I want to ask you because okay, how tempted were you? I think I know the answer. Because I didn't get it either. But the Weird Al box set, the vinyl one.
I'm very tempted, and even more so when a buddy of mine at work brought it in.
Oh,
and it was just sitting there, and I was like, you're not that good of a friend. You're a work friend. I could take it, and I could feel fine. I still, every now and then, when someone's like, hey, here's your stimulus check, I always go,
right.
I could buy that right
now. How much of a dick would you look like? You get your check, and oh, good. Thank God, Curt. I'm glad to hear you got yours too. You're gonna make it okay. Yeah, yes, technically true. However,
but
check this out. I'm pulling up the track list for Alpocalypse because if we don't actually talk about it, I feel like we're
we have to
terrible
talk
human
about
beings. This is so I've was he planning on? You would know better than I. I know that some of these were released. Like I feel like way pre. No, they weren't.
Yes,
were they? Were like
yeah,
because
like 2005 or something, man. I had it written down too.
So some of these were internet leaks ones, the quote unquote internet leaks. Yep. Okay, so I'm not mistaken. All right, there we go.
2008, 2009.
There we go.
Because I that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about was that this was the longest gap, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's the longest gap between Weird Al albums.
I think you're right.
And it was like a big dry spell. Then these little things started dropping on the internet.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, this album is going to be fantastic. And then it just didn't stop. I was like, oh my God, we're going to get the whole album before we get the album.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, that's what I was like. Is he? Because at the time, I think we're all like, well, is he just going to burn it? Because nobody's going to want it because we didn't have quite the same maybe understanding of it. There had been a couple 2-3 year gaps actually, but still it was one of those where I think because of the Internet Leaks EP, we were all kind of, I know I was thrown by it. And then, you know what? No, you're right though, because here's the thing. The one that's in between them is the Essential Weird Al, so that doesn't count. That's just
that's a filler, yeah.
Straight Outta Linwood was 2006, so it's a 5-year gap. I do not think there was one that beats that for Al.
And it was weird because that wasn't Al. I mean, he was always there.
Sure.
And you always could count on every couple of years you're getting a Weird Al album and it's going to blow you away. Yeah. And sadly, I'll show my age. This, I can say, was the first Weird Al album that I didn't know most of the originals.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
This is when it flipped for me, where I was like, oh, now I got to hear the original to know what he was just parodying. And obviously the parodies are all better, but this was that was that turning point. And I was like, oh no, I'm old. This is when I realized, I've become old.
So you hadn't heard Born This Way either?
Oh, Born This Way I'd heard.
You'd had heard that one. Okay, that's by the way, I keep hitting my fucking mic. I'm so sorry for you.
I do that all the time in my podcast.
Well, the thing is, my camera's also attached to my fucking thing, so I'm just like banging the fucking... Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why? If this is going on Patreon, let me just apologize to you people. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm an asshole.
Just a little side story.
Please.
I was Lady Gaga's Valentine in 2011 or 2012 because I stood outside, and I hate saying this name, but I stood outside Jay Leno's Tonight Show, and I had a big thing saying "Be my Valentine," and the limo stopped. She got out, and she went to all the crowd waiting in line to get into the show. Hey, he's my Valentine. She's like, do you have a ticket to the show? And I didn't want to say like, hell no, I won't go in there. I went, no. And she went, hey, guards, let him in down front. And I got to go. So that's my little side shoot for Lady Gaga. But
holy shit.
That's why I knew a couple of the tunes, but most of these, man, I had no idea. You couldn't pay me. If you would have paid, said like, hey man, I'll give you all the money in the world if you can tell me what this was a parody of, or any of the real lyrics, not a clue. Not a damn clue.
That's fair. I'm looking through it too, and I'm like, maybe one or two, slightly. Maybe I knew Party in the USA a little sideways. Maybe. But the thing is that, and we talk about this every time, Weird Al is always going to be hipper than the rest of us combined.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's why. That's why that nerd works. That's like his thing is always going to be, no, I have to be. Why would I not be on top of my fucking game? You know?
And he really is. I mean, there's never been a time where I was like, well, that song is 12 years old. You should have had a 2-year-old song. Like, he's always spot on with what's going on, especially in the polkas. But, you know, all of them. Like, he knows what he's doing, and boy, does he do it well. And again, it makes me want to go, well, now I got to listen to Bruno Mars, I guess. That sucks.
Has there ever been a time when you've discovered a song you really loved based off of a parody, or no?
No, never.
Because he could make the argument that, you know, I'm helping people discover stuff that they might love in the future, and Curt's just like, no, why would I? No, I'm here for
I'll
Weird
listen
Al.
to the original, and then I'll go, yeah, no, Weird Al's better. Sorry. I prefer it. This album has one of my all-time Weird Al favorite songs ever, though.
Hit me.
CNR.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just so good. It got me on so many levels, from the, you know, a kid in the 70s level, and to White Stripes being from Detroit, and I'm from Detroit. Like, it filled it checked all the boxes, and I was like, this is the best. Seeing him perform it live at Largo with just it was just a guitar and him. That's all it was, and nobody in Largo had a clue what the song was, and I was about 6 rows back, just rocking out as hard as I could and singing along. And I got one of these from Weird Al. You're on video, I can actually do this. I got one of these from Weird Al. Just a point and a thumbs up, and that's all I needed in life. It was fantastic.
So oh, that's a delight. God damn it. I'm not gonna litigate how delightful of a human being he is a billion times on this show, but I will just point out, not long before you and I met, I was on a show. Well, how do I say this? A show that was on BBC, hosted by a podcaster whose name I don't want to mention. And Weird Al was there, planted in the audience, and I was thinking of this today. I'm like, I'm going to talk to Curt about this. Did I physically tap Weird Al on it? I may have. And I'm like, that's a real invasion of space. I think I did. I was like, excuse me, Mr. Yankovic. I at least said, excuse me, and was about to tap him on the shoulder. I may have. I'll have to ask my wife. Either way, I was like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I just want to thank you. You're the reason my best friend and I are best friends. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. Put out his hand, shook hands when that was a thing you were allowed to do with people. And
I remember those.
Just so he had to turn around immediately, but it's like looking into the eyes of God, because he's just so nice. There was not an ounce of I'm bothered. And even if he's trained himself to be that nice, don't care. Nicest anybody's ever been.
I'm sure you met him before many of They Might Be Giants show back in the day, right?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, because I've not been to enough of those.
That was a regular thing. If you went to see They Might Be Giants, Weird Al would be just standing somewhere close to the front, but never the front, because he did. And if anybody was short behind him, he would back up one spot. I mean, that's how nice he is. Jesus. But I mean, many a times I was just like, hi, Weird Al. And he's like, hey, how you doing? And then I would stand there starstruck, just looking like an idiot. And then someone would have a conversation. And then I would be like, oh, he's there. This is real. I could be part of this conversation. He is the nicest man in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and I would say to a fault, except he also knows how to cut people off in this beautiful way where it's like, oh, I just had an experience. Okay, bye. See you. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I had no idea. I mean, it makes sense that he's They Might Be Giants fan. I knew he was a fan, but I didn't know that he was like a fucking show regular at one point. God damn it, that's so good.
At one point, he really was, and then something happened, and not so much anymore. But do you remember what he said to us on the? I'm going to jump all around. Feel terrible. Go ahead,
please.
Do you remember what he said to us? The first thing he said to us on the video shoot, Perform This Way?
I don't. I'm sorry.
He walked in. They introduced him, which I thought was dumb, because obviously we all knew who he was. Yeah. And then they went down the list. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Hi, I'm Al. Hey, if you need anything, please let her know. Please let me know. Please let anyone know. We're so happy to have you guys here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he didn't need to say any of that. He never needed to come into the room and say hi to us.
No, he was the director and the star. He was the last person who needed to talk to us at all.
Yeah.
But, I do remember him talking to us, but I did not remember. Yeah, come on, Weird Al.
It was great.
And I think he was in the back, because a lot of the shoot we were there with, holy crap, that gymnast, that woman who was, that, holy shit, because she was doing all the, like, holy God. I was just like, what is happening right now? And they're like, yeah, so just you're going to do this, and then we're going to put Al's face on it. I'm like, how are you possibly going to put Al's face on it? But
it's all the whole time I thought the same thing. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. And you know, they were, you know, have to clear your SD cards and make sure you do it. And and of course I did. But the fact that they were like, you know, trying to be very polite and protective of her.
Yes.
Equally from Al, I think.
Sure.
I was like, wow, this is a really pleasant film shoot. This was fantastic.
It was not. Yeah. So they had us all bring in our cameras, and they're like, you guys take all the pictures you want. And then at the end, they're like, you know what? We need to check. Now, I will say this. I took about 4 or 5 totally harmless pictures, and obviously none of her, because I didn't want to be a creep. I just wanted a picture of Al in makeup, and it was fantastic. And so right before then, I had a front pocket for a reason. I'm like, I didn't have an SD card the whole time. I needed those mementos, Kurt. What was I going to do?
I didn't want to say it on air, but yes, I did the same. I have, mine were, because where I was standing, there was a light spot right on me, right in my face. So my photos are absolute terrible photos anyway.
Sure.
So had they, you know, looked at them, they would have been like, were you taking photos of the spotlight? But I have them, and it counts because, you know, I was there. I had to.
Of course. Why would you not? No, you're fine. I don't know if there's I only posted them after the video had well since been released and stuff, and so I'm like, I don't want to be weird about it. You should. I want to see them, especially if any of them are distinguishable. If there's anything you can see that's happening,
I really need to check and see if there's anything that
would love
is
to see
usable.
that.
Yeah, I'll check.
So we've got a total of, on this album, we have a total of 12 songs. Okay, yep, there we go. See, I'm also looking, here's the thing, I always have to relook up style parodies, except for White Stripes. That one's pretty fucking obvious.
Oh, sure. Of course.
My God, yeah. So, and I'm always, like, I don't know how often he confirms these style parodies, because some of them don't always track when people say it. Some of these are obvious. Again, the Doors one that's on here.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, so CNR, we'll talk about that again. You love it. Again, it's about Charles Nelson Riley, which is such a specific reference for the people who were buying this. Maybe this wasn't necessary. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was for me, but maybe for his younger fans. But they're younger fans. Who knows? You know, I'm trying to figure out how it tracks for them.
Oh no, I've had people. I've been playing, you know, I play this song all the time. It's one of my favorite songs. And they always go, that's cool. I don't know what CNR is. And then I'll show them the video going, it'll click as soon as they see it. And they'll be like, yeah, I don't know who that dude is. Because it's one of those like jab kind of videos.
Yes.
But it's using his face, and they don't have a clue in the world, which actually kind of makes me like this song just a touch more.
That's fair. I saw a gentleman today, one of the guys who wrote Dolomite Is My Name, and also one of the guys who he also wrote Ed Wood.
Wow.
He has his face mask has Charles Nelson Riley on it, which I was quite
my
impressed
God,
with.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I actually I used to do red carpets for this website I used to have, hollywookie.com. It's not there anymore. I've since moved on to better things. But so I used to do red carpets all the time. And again, for some reason, no one wanted to interview Brian Fuller. They would just let him kind of go by, or they'd have like one question and you're like, how's Hannibal? And then he'd walk away. And I would sit there and, you know, just fanboy over everything from Wonder Falls on. Some of my favorite TV shows.
Yeah, Pushing Daisies is brilliant.
One of the best. And so he was dressed, again, in my opinion, he was dressed like Charles Nelson Riley. And I said it before my brain could react, my mouth. I just said, I love the fact that you're dressed like Charles Nelson Riley. And then internal scream, because I was like, that's an insult. Why would you say that? And then and he started laughing, and he goes, I love that you just said that I look like Charles Nelson Riley right now. I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. And I've since joked with him many, many a time. And he again, speaking of one of the nicest people in the world, Brian Fuller, bar none, one of the nicest human beings on the planet.
Good to hear.
But yeah, it's just that I don't know why I have a connection or whatever or a fascination, I should say, with Charles Nelson Riley. But for the love of God, he's, come on.
I mean, he was a staple. He was there on everything. And then, of course, once you're on a game show that everybody's watching every day.
Oh, sure.
I mean, come on. He's going to stick in my brain.
I mean, he was in, Sid and Marty Krofft. I mean, he's always been part of my life as far as I can recall. He was on the Monkees. So, it's just one of those weird things that, look, he's the best. And that song is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the fact it's got that White Stripes drum beat through it, it's brilliantly written and such a toe tapper. It's fantastic.
Do you have, okay, what I also love is that there are two, there's CNR, and then literally right after it's a song entitled TMZ. So two.
TMZ, yeah.
Yeah. My God, I'm trying to figure out which one I like the most out of this whole album. I honestly think it's probably Party in the CIA. And
really?
Yes. And it might be because I like the video a lot, but it's also because I like when Al gets dark. I like I like because he will never, you ask him, he won't talk about having a dark side. I've heard people try and get him to admit it. And he's like, no, I just like, da, 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 da. But I mean, if you've heard Trigger Happy, you know he does.
Oh my God, he does.
And then this is like, I'm like, oh, this is good. It's a relief to hear somebody this funny be this satirical. And I think that's why. It's more on an intellectual level. I don't know if it's as perfect a song as CNR, because I also really love his style parodies. I love his originals because his strength is right there.
Well, that's the other thing is that, and I'm going to blank on what my other favorites are, but the originals are usually always my favorites on albums. Like his originals are the best, and it really bummed me out when I'd wear my Weird Al tiki shirt, whatever you want to call it, Hawaiian shirts that I got from the concerts to work, and people wouldn't have a clue who Weird Al was. And then when I told them, and then I'd be like, yeah, and his original songs are even better, they'd be like, he does original songs? And it just bums me out because he should be known for how brilliant he is.
And yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I never think, that's one of those where I don't bother. I would love to be the person who tells people, but I'm like, I know they're not going to know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Why there's too much legwork to do here to explain how he's a fucking genius, and people be like, are you sure? It's like, yes, I'm fucking sure.
Dude, oh my God. I've had so many internal arguments or arguments with myself on the way home from leaving a party going like, you fucking idiots. How could you not know who Weird Al is? It's the worst.
I know. But you know what? He's doing fine with that gold bathtub that he likes to talk about. I just love him. I love him so much. He knows, the thing is, it's also like he's fully aware of that reputation, and I think that's why he's such a big fan service guy, where he's like, well, these are the people who are keeping me in diamonds and pearls, so I'm fine,
Oh, yes.
Did you get to see, I think we've already discussed this, and I expressed frustration at not getting to see the most recent tour. I didn't get to see him do all his originals. So. Oh,
no kidding! You didn't go to that?
No.
Well, actually, wasn't the last tour was the orchestra?
No, you're right. The one before that.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, so I did. Pissed. I did. I did the VIP pass with the watch and everything.
Come on now.
Meet him. And oh my God, you'll actually enjoy this.
Yes,
so,
please.
I was the last person because for some reason when they gave me the little packet of VIP stuff, it didn't have the meet and greet part of it, the little sticker thing that you needed.
Oh no.
And so I was like, but I'm supposed to, I spent a lot of money and I should, but please. And finally, one of the girls was like, look, I've met him a ton of times here. And she slapped it on me. And the guy's like, good, get in the back of the line.
Wow.
So it was 300 of us. Whoa. So it took forever.
Yeah.
But when I got down there, I walked up and I was like, hey, how you doing? And I had him sign one of the records that I had, probably in 3D. And I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I was an extra in Perform This Way, and you were the nicest man on the planet. And he goes, oh, yeah, I remember you. And I was like, that's such bullshit, but it is the best response ever. And I just walked away like, he remembers me.
Of course. Like, that man will put you on cloud. I was so tempted, by the way, at the shoot to be like, but I'm like, first of all, this whole I still had the mustache on. I had the wig. Everybody just looks like a weird version of him. I'm not going to bother. And
I did.
Did you? You did?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you know this. So you know how like my group got in first or whatever?
Yes.
And so when we got in, his wife like walked right by us because I was at the edge of the right side. His wife walked right by us and looked at me and went, oh my God, you're my husband from the 90s. And I was like, oh, and she's like, Al, get a load of this guy. And everybody around me was like, what the crap? What the fuck is happening? And so I was like, hey, I was in Perform This Way too. So this is the best. And I have no recollection of his response at all. But it was, I remember a nod and I remember him saying something. And then he just kind of wandered away. And everybody was like, that was so cool. And I was like, I don't even know what happened. I blanked out.
So good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It was a fun day. It was also really funny that like they were giving people full minute or two meetings with him, and by the time it came to me, like, hey, handshake and go, handshake. But again,
Oh no,
the
really?
but the nicest fast handshake I've ever gotten in my life. It's like, Al, thank you so much. It's a delight. And he's just like, oh, thank you so much. And it's like, God damn it, too good, too good.
Yeah, he signed my accordion, and I was like, because that's all I wanted. I just wanted him to sign the accordion. And he goes, oh my God, that's a beautiful accordion.
Ah.
Do you play? And I said, no, I bought this because my buddy was having a wedding, and we all had to dress up. It was a Halloween wedding, so I dressed up as you. So I got this accordion, but they were going to throw it away. And he went, wait, stop. They were going to throw this away? And I went, oh, yeah. It was actually going to be thrown away because it's broken. And he's like, squeeze it a couple of times. So I did. And he goes, oh, yeah, the bellow's broken. He's like, you can get that fixed. Are you sure you want me to sign it? And I'm like, more than anything. And he's like, you got it.
I mean, the only other option is you decide to dedicate the rest of your life to playing the accordion. Or you just give it to Weird Al and, hey, here's your accordion. But then you don't have a signed accordion by Weird Al. So, I mean, come on.
If he said like, oh, I really like that accordion, I would have been like, it's yours. Thank you for everything. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine? Yeah, Weird Al's playing my accordion on stage.
Oh, my God, it'd be amazing.
A lot of this show is spent like maybe too much trying to figure out why things are funny or why we love the things we love. I know that obviously Weird Al hit me at a time that was perfect, and when I was making my best friend, and I was 10, I think, when I heard him when I was younger, but like when I was 10, 10, that's when I first heard in 3D.
Your voice changed.
That's when my voice changed. And I just love that you said in 3D, because that's the one I need him to sign, because that's the one Jim and Bermuda both signed, and I need him to sign it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really desperately need him. I don't have anything signed by Weird Al. One of these days it will happen. But that's the one. Is that your favorite album? Is in 3D your favorite? Or
you know what? I don't. That's the weird thing is I really don't have a favorite Weird Al album because every time I do, the next one comes out and I went, no, never mind. This one's it. No, never mind. This one's it.
I know.
And it was. I mean, for the longest time, it was Alpocalypse. For the longest time, and then. I mean, I don't know. I really don't have. That's sad. I really should have a favorite. Although I don't have a favorite They Might Be Giants album either. It's just they're all.
It's a huge body of work, and exactly right. There are different things about it. You're going to be in the right mood for it. I don't have a particular favorite. That's just significant, so that's why I have it signed. I'm always curious,
Well, that is why, obviously, in 3D, I've had it forever. It was one of those where I'm like, I have to get it signed. Yeah. And when am I going to have the opportunity? I know for a fact he's going to sign it because I have a meet and greet. So I was like, that's it. I'm bringing it with me, and I had to get it done. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Which I think is the only. It is. That's my only. No, I'm sorry. There's two. I have two Weird Al autographs. It's that, and I have his children's book signed.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
that's
I
amazing.
went to Barnes and Noble to get it signed, and right before, they were like, okay, Al's going to come up. You have to write down on a blue card what name you want him to put on there, and then he'll sign it.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know what name to put. And my friend Lindsay that I was with was like, John Stamos, and she was just joking, and I went, yep. So I have. It says to John Stamos, love Weird Al.
So good. Well, actually, now you have three because you got your accordion. So you have three Weird Al autographs.
Oh, that's true.
Come
yes,
on.
I do. I do have three.
So good.
The accordion is the third. That's true.
So do you have it on display? Is it
the accordion?
Yes.
It's over there.
Okay.
I could easily.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's damn it. I love it. I'm trying to. Okay. So, you know what? Here, it's also a Weird album. Weird Album Yankovic. He's got a song called Whatever You Like that is a parody of a song called Whatever You Like. That is the only time he's done that?
I was going to say, that's the only time he's ever done that. I looked that up a long time ago because I was like, wait, that's the name of the song.
Right.
That's the only time. Yeah.
It's interesting. And I was like, I have no idea what he's parodying here, but I'm like, that's good. Nope. Works for me.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
Do we know why? Because, okay, so one of the other internet leaks, or at least at roughly the same time, was his parody of You're Beautiful by James.
Yes.
What's his shit? Was that illegal?
Yes.
Like, we don't want you to deal?
Yep. That is exactly it. Yeah. It was, he really couldn't get it, but got it. So he just threw that out there. I want to say that was still the MySpace days. And it was after I'd worked at MySpace, but it was still the MySpace days. And that one popped up on MySpace first.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When I worked at MySpace back in the day, when I worked for MySpace, the employees could pick there was like on the MySpace homepage in the bottom right, the featured artist, and there was only 3 featured artists I've ever requested, and it was They Might Be Giants, Weird Al, and a band called Oppenheimer because they were cool guys.
Love it.
But
okay.
Weird Al kept getting outvoted. Almost immediately. They were like, nope, we're cool. He's not.
Come on now.
It hurt me every time to get an email back. Sorry, we're trying to be cool. Weird Al just isn't cool.
How
which
wrong
is just
they were.
The worst.
How wrong. It couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches. Because, if I'm now remembering, Perform This Way was the same situation, actually, not long before the song actually got released.
That's right.
Lady Gaga's people turned it down, but then she's like, what? Are you stupid? Or at least that's how it was told. She was like, no, come on.
She said that. She's like, hey, that is the mark of you've made it when Weird Al wants to do one of your songs. And she was like, nope, I want it. And so it got thrown on at the end there. Yeah.
This is, I don't think it's happened that way. And it didn't happen, it happened in an internet world where people found out immediately that somebody had supposedly turned it down. And then, of course, anybody would be like, no, why, please.
Oh yeah, I remember the Twitter storm when when it exploded on Twitter. I was like, "Oh my God, Lady Gaga's even involved." Going, "No, he needs to do this. Are you crazy?" Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, there we go." Because for a second I was like, "I don't love her anymore. She's not my Valentine." But then she cleared it all up.
Do you? Okay, now I don't want to make assumptions, but Curt, are you a Disney man? Are you a Disney fan?
Oh yes, most definitely.
Okay. Skipper Dan then must hit you right at home a little bit.
Skipper Dan was, when that started up, I was like, oh my God, he's going to do the jokes through the whole. This is perfect. And I also had a couple of friends that were skippers, and I immediately sent it out to them immediately, and they were like, that's my life. That's me. He's singing like my song at the moment. It's so real for all of those sad people that have to do the jokes. Then. I don't know. Screw it. I can say I don't give a care. I saw a screener or I got invited to a press thing for Jungle Cruise, the movie, like a year ago. And all over that press thing at the end where you have to fill out what you like, what you didn't like, I was like, you need to use Skipper Dan by Weird Al. And I'm like, for the love of God.
If it doesn't make it in, I have no reason to go see it. God damn it. It better make it into the final cut.
It better make it in.
Right? I would also be fine if it's a matter of The Rock covering it. That would be a weird, the most high profile cover of a Weird Al song. I'd be fine. I don't know. He can sing. Yeah, he can sing. Why can't he do it? The Rock can sing.
He could totally do it. Oh,
Come on. All right. There's
how
excuse.
viral that would go if he did that?
I know.
People would love it. Wait, has there ever been a celebrity version of a Weird Al song, not like the artist that he parodied, but has a celebrity done it? Yeah,
like the closest is Jonah Ray, and not to insult Jonah Ray, but he's not The Rock.
You're right.
He did a punk album that I wanted to talk about on this podcast, but that didn't end up happening. But he's not The Rock. Nobody the level of The Rock has ever done that.
That is true. Did you enjoy the music video that they did with a lot of the clips from UHF?
Did I see that? Wait, was it one of Jonah Ray's?
Yes.
Oh, no, I did not see it. I didn't see it, actually.
Oh, well, it's funny.
Should.
I had a buddy of mine hit me up on Facebook going, hey, man, you're a big Weird Al fan. What's some of your favorite moments? And I said, how many do you want? And he goes, dude, no, I'm serious. Give me as many as you need. And so I spent all day, sent him a huge email.
Oh, my God.
And it turns out he directed the video and just went, and he just used it as a checklist. Okay, we need that, we need that, we need that. Yeah.
What song was it? Was it a cover of UHF or was it?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. Well done.
Yeah. So another weird, odd connection to Weird Al that should never be.
Fantastic. Right. Also, a song that does not date it, except for, there are these weird moments in pop culture and sometimes also in comedy culture where you get a song about Britney Spears says, email me your love, or whatever the fuck the name of that song was.
Yeah.
There's a song about Craigslist. And Craigslist, while it wasn't new.
Oh, yes.
And I think it's more notable for the fact that he not only nails the Doors, but if I'm not mistaken, someone from the Doors is on this song, correct?
Yes, yeah, the keyboardist, is it Ray Manzarek? I think
Thank you.
Ray Manzarek.
Yep, that is the name. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're right. It is slightly. Well, now it's really dating it because they don't have a lot of the features on Craigslist that he talks about.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What else we got? Wait, what the hell? Okay, this one is another tattoo. Oh wait, that's
the Bruno Mars, which I was like, nope.
Yep. Okay. Right.
I mean, Weird Al's great. The
Yes,
Weird Al version's great, but the
course.
Bruno Mars version, terrible. It's not good. It's just not.
I love your. I won't call it hatred, but I do like your disdain for the originals. Like, it's very pure. It's very pure, Kurt. Oh wait, you know what? I'm realizing I did not listen. Okay. Here's another thing that I want to talk about, and I haven't done the math on this. But so in the polka, I always love the polkas.
Sure.
I love everything he does. Who am I kidding? But Lady Gaga's on there, so
Yes.
she's twice on the album. By the time we get to Mandatory Fun, there's one person who is technically covered 3 times on the album. Think about it. I don't know if you know who it is. Covered or parodied 3 times on the album. But yeah, it's rare, I think, that this happens unless it's a Michael Jackson, if that even happens. I mean, maybe. I'd have to go back.
I wouldn't think that Michael Jackson would be. No, I don't
in
think
any
it
of
would
the
be.
polkas.
No.
Yeah, right. It's been a while since I've listened to them all, but yeah, it's also a very good polka. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's always relatively the same polka, but you know.
Now you got me wondering what it is on Mandatory Fun.
It occurred to me after I listened to it through a few times. I'm like, wait a minute, this person was involved in 3 songs that are mentioned on this, or that are in some way involved in this album.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't have a clue. Who is it in Mandatory Fun?
It's Pharrell. Or Pharrell. It's Pharrell. I know it's not Pharrell.
That makes total sense.
Because of Happy.
That makes total sense.
And Blurred Lines, and then I don't remember which one ends up in the polka, but one of his songs ends up in the polka. This guys, I apologize to anybody who doesn't like people nerding out about shit, but that's literally what I expected this to be and what it turned out to be, Kurt.
Oh my god. And that's the thing, like I start to blank on like, well, when you ask me like what's my some of my favorite albums,
Well,
I'm looking at the list and I can tell you like Dare to Be Stupid never left the tape player in my car in '86.
You know, you're not alone. I know a lot of people who that's their favorite, actually, which is...
And quite to the disdain of my then girlfriend, she was like, "Can we listen to anything? Like, can we put Richard Marx on for the love of God?" But yeah, no, like Running with Scissors. I want to say that one was when it was like I was not fading from loving Weird Al because I was still seeing him in concert all the time.
Sure.
But that one really reinvigorated my love for Weird Al.
Same. That was me sort of rediscovering him because I have admitted that I had a lull where I was like, I was being tempted towards the dark side of you're too cool for Weird Al. And eventually,
that's exactly it.
Badoink, it brought me right back up, which is, by the way, a word, Badoink. And that's when I first saw him in concert, was that tour.
Oh, wow.
And that my best friend and I went to see that, and it was like perfect. It was like 10 years probably. We'd been friends for 10 years at that point. So it was like perfect timing. And I was like, holy shit, is this how concerts are? Because I hadn't seen that many concerts in my whole life. And I'm like, this must be how concerts are. Had a terrible opener. Terrible opening act.
Who was the opener?
Some local shitty comedian who did a song about killing kittens. And I'm like, this is not remotely funny. You're garbage. Bring on Weird fucking Al. And I was tempted to boo. And I don't like to boo people, but I was tempted.
Oh, no, there's been some that I'm just like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
You know, that's the thing, though. Like, when you see Weird Al, and for the most part, I saw Weird Al, I think, more at fairs than I've seen him anywhere else. It's, you know, the crowd doesn't really like him. It's just part of their fair ticket.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, oh, it's the Eat It guy. And then be angry through most of the show. So I'm just, like, getting angrier and angrier because everybody around me is getting angry. It's the worst.
Yeah.
And then Al's Brain, did you go to that experience?
No, I didn't get to.
So I was like, I'm going, and I took whatever girl I was dating at the time, and she did not get it, did not like it, did not want to be part of it, and I was just in heaven the whole time.
You keep trying so hard. I
did. It so bummed me out. I thought I could be cool. He brought me back in. I was like, I don't care. Al is cool. I don't care.
All right, Kurt. So what we do towards the end of every episode is we recommend the album if we want to. Obviously, I know you're going to. Give me a couple sentences. Why listen to Alpocalypse in particular?
That's a perfect question. So I have actually had this exact conversation with many of people. I do it. I mean, I always tell them, look, if you have to listen to one, listen to Alpocalypse because it has one of my favorite Al songs on it, CNR.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, because I always assume people will know more than I do, you will know a lot of these parodies, and it's going to surprise. Most of them are going to surprise you.
Yeah.
And I've always get back, I didn't expect them to do blah, blah, blah. That was cool. Taylor Swift or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that is my little hook is
smart.
I guarantee you one of the tracks is going to surprise you.
Yeah, that's perfect. I part of this show a lot of the time has been to try and relitigate what novelty means, because also he has fallen way out of the novelty, definition.
Oh, definitely.
But I also think it's a pejorative, and it shouldn't be necessarily, because there's some really good novelty music. I don't know. There's been some very good stuff,
Oh yeah. It's sad that it's a negative. Like like you're saying, there is no reason that it should be a negative. There's nothing wrong with quote unquote novelty music, because I guarantee you it's going to bring a smile to your face.
Yep.
It's going to make you happy. You're going to sing along if it's ever played anywhere.
Right.
And that's exactly what happens.
Agreed. And then
although I don't agree that people consider They Might Be Giants novelty music sometimes, which I don't understand that at all. They just don't understand what the term novelty means.
And it's also people not understanding that just because it sounds lighthearted does not mean that it is all lighthearted subject matter.
Yes.
Or that it takes a massive amount of skill to be able to play that many instruments that well, at that skill level. And the writing is always above my head. I know that. It's much smarter than I am. So
100% smarter than me. And I always have to go, I wonder what that song is about. I was wrong, but it's still good. I don't care I was wrong.
It's complex, and it can also be just as fun, and it can be, if you want, fine. You can just wipe your brain and enjoy it. That is also fine. But that's why it works as art, I think, personally.
So that was probably a terrible answer, but that's my honest answer.
No, it's a good answer.
Yeah, it's just the hook.
Rarely do people ever say, it's because it's my favorite one. Like, it's got some my favorite shit on it. That's a perfectly legitimate answer. Curt, this is going to... Wait, it actually might come out today. It'll come out soon. So, what do you want... Where can people find you? What do you want to promote? What's going on?
Paranormal Almanac. That's my main focus right now. In fact, I apologize, my dog's barking at nothing. I just posted on my website today that Paranormal Almanac is the only paranormal podcast hosted by somebody who's been in a Weird Al music video, probably.
I love it. That's brilliant. Do you want people to follow you on Twitter? They don't have to.
Oh, sure. You can follow me on Twitter. On most things, I'm Hollywookie, but I'm trying to move everything over to Paranormal Almanac. So find me anywhere you want on Paranormal Almanac. Oh, my God. What is happening?
Oh, no. Jeez. Little puppy. Curt, you're a delight. Thank you for doing the show.
Oh, you are the best. And like I said, it really is a thrill for me to be on this show because it is just so good. It is the best. That's very nice of you. I appreciate it. And I love that... I like when people come on who really love Weird Al. I mean, what can I say? I mean, that's half the reason I do this show. Just to talk about Weird Al. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. You can check out my other podcasts, including The Professional Blur, which it turns out we're going to be doing right after this because, we got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just going to say what I say every week, which is have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of StolenDress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Warden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klom. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. You can email us at podcast@comedyonvinyl.com. You can also send snail mail to StolenDress Entertainment, P.O. Box 805, Burbank, California, 91503. Subscribe to Comedy on Vinyl on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you can find podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating and write us a review. It helps. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Comedy on Vinyl, or find everything in one place at comedyonvinyl.com. A major portion of Comedy on Vinyl has been underwritten by Stand Up Records. Please visit standuprecords.com for all your comedy needs and tune in to the new Stand Up Records channel available on the Roku, where you can also find select episodes of this podcast. Visit StolenDress.com to listen to our other podcasts, watch videos, and imbibe freely of our multimedia content going back 15 plus years. StolenDress Entertainment.
Hey, it's my turn. Ah!